I used to make N8N and make workflows for clients, build once, deliver, and move on. Each workflow solved a real problem, and each workflow made me money only once. And then I saw someone else taking the same simple workflow ideas but adding a basic front end and charging $29 a month to 500 users. That's $14,500 a month. And that's when it clicked. I was already doing the hard part. So now I build the same workflows, but I add a front end and then I sell one workflow to hundreds of clients. Same effort, but recurring revenue. And that's exactly what I'm going to show you today, how to take your simple N8N workflows that do one thing well and then turn them into actual micro-SaaS products using Lovable. Okay, so let's get started. So the two tools we are going to use today are N8N and Lovable. You probably know each one of those tools, but if you don't, here's a quick overview. So N8N is a workflow automation tool, and what it will allow you to do is connect APIs and automate tasks. So it's basically like Zapier or Make, but more powerful. I used to be a huge Make user. I still use Make, but now when I need to build more complex processes, I use N8N because it's a way more powerful. So here, an example of workflow I've built. So it's just basically based on information received in the webhook. It's going to go fetch Reddit posts, YouTube videos, use some code. So this is what I like about N8N, the ability to use code. You can use JavaScript or Python. And then the output is going to be analyzed by AI. So here I'm using OpenAI. And then it's going to be added in a spreadsheet. And the goal of this whole workflow is to help me find YouTube videos ideas based on what are people asking for and looking for on Reddit and what is currently existing on the market in what's currently existing on YouTube. So the video is not about how to build N8N workflows, but if you want me to show you how to build this specific workflow, let me know in the comments and I will do that for you guys. So now we got anything covered. Let's switch to Lovable. So Lovable, basically, it's an AI powered front end builder, and so you don't need to code, you just have to explain what you want to do, even attach some ideas, and bam, it will build a React apps with full UI. And so that's why it's a perfect tool for us today, because it will allow you to add front end to your workflow. So the front end is going to be built by Lovable, and the back end, well, the whole process that makes the website work is based on your N8N workflow. So now we can go ahead and actually connect N8N and Lovable. So first, what you need to do is go to the settings, and then in the settings, click on MCP access and enable MCP. So now we don't have any workflows exposed to the MCP server, so we have to go back to our workflow, and then we'll in the settings we'll have to refresh. Okay, in the settings now I should be able to see an option for me to make the scenario available MCP. Perfect. I actually forgot that this was a duplicated workflow, so it's not active yet. So let me activate it, and now we should be able to enable the access in the MCP server. Okay, perfect. Now it's available in MCP. So now the next step is to give the workflow description. If you go ahead up on the screen next to the name of the scenario and the add tag button, you have a little pictogram. So just click on it, and the goal of adding the description is to make the MCP, well, when you connect a tool to the MCP, whether it be N8N or Code or whatever other tool, then it can have a description of what the workflow does and how it works. What's really important in the description here is to make sure that I explain what type of data the webhook is supposed to receive. So I am going to add this in the description. I just uploaded the JSON of the N8N file and then asked ChatGPT to write a description for me. Let me know if you want this prompt as well. Okay, perfect. Now that we have connected N8N, we have to connect Lovable. So in Lovable, you're going to go to the settings, and then you're going to go to the connectors tab. And then if you scroll down, you will be able to see N8N and connect, or just click on the connect button. So now we have to get the server URL. So let's go back to the MCP access. So this was the URL that's available in the MCP access tab in N8N. Then you add it. And then another window will open asking you to confirm the connection. Just click on allow, and that's it. Okay, so now that we've done with that, we can actually start to build. To build our tool, so there's several ways to go about it. You can just go ahead and just type in quick notes about what you want to do. The way I like to go about it for efficiency is to have a PRD. So PRD, it's a product requirement document. So it's used in web development when building apps or websites. And it's basically instruction for Lovable's AI to make sure that we get exactly what we want. So let me show you what it looks like. So what I did is that I submitted those notes, and then I have this prompt. If you want the prompt, I will include it in the description. And basically the idea is just to take those very unstructured notes of what I want, and then to make a PRD so we are clear, a clear structure of what it does, what are the UI requirements, how it's going to be integrated, and so on and so forth. If you notice here, I asked it to review in chat mode. So in Lovable, you can choose to either start building immediately, or you can use chat mode and first well, get clear with the AI about what you want to do, and then start building. So this will save you credits. So it's going to make building your apps cheaper, and it's also going to ensure that you have fewer iterations, so that you're not going back and forth with the chat all the time, which costs money. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy paste the output of the prompt, and then I'm going to be able to paste it in Lovable. So I do need to add the CSV file I am mentioning. Let me try to go ahead and find it. Okay, there we go. Okay, let's send. So we have the I see that the N8N integration is not connected yet message, and it's because right now we're in chat mode, not in we're not building, so we're not able to access the N8N workflows, but we're going to be able to access them later. So now it has some further question for me. So the second part of the workflow is to send the report email. We will do that via another N8N workflow. And now it's asking me about what are my visual preferences. Let's go for gradient and bold. And it's asking me if the workflow is ready. And yes, it's already ready. So let's submit. So now it's writing the implementation plan, telling me everything that will be built, headings, how the page is going to be structured. And so everything is okay with me. So I'm just going to go ahead and implement and actually start building. So now I need to allow access to my workflows. So because it will ask every time, there's also an option to disable this behavior and just allow automatically. So just allow. And I also have to allow it to get the workflow details. So again, if you want to change this behavior, here you can just either never allow or always allow, or ask each time. So it's allow. And so now you just have to let Lovable cook and wait for it to build everything. So now we're going to try and test the scenario. Okay, so now we can go ahead and try the workflow. Let me select a random niche. Let's go with meal prep. Okay, so here we don't have the correct data, so let's go back to N8N to see what's happening. Okay, I can see that clicking on the the find opportunities button has triggered the workflow, but here the problem with the behavior of the tool is that it's not waiting until results are ready to display them. So let's go ahead and try to fix this behavior. Um, Also, another thing that's missing here, and that the tool hasn't code yet, but I have, is that we need to be able to send back the results to Lovable. Yeah, so building with Lovable, it's an AI tool, it's not all-knowing. So sometimes you get into little you need to some back and forth to get to the result you want. So first we need to enable Lovable Cloud. Let's allow. So what I'm going to have to do is to modify the N8N workflow in order for the workflow to call this webhook and then send the results back. I could call the webhook directly, but I want to make the output easier to understand. So I'm going to add a code node in order to parse the analysis. Let's go ahead and create a code node. So there we go. So this is a JavaScript code, but if you don't know how to write JavaScript, it's okay. I don't either. I just use Claude for all that, and it works pretty well. Let's rename the node. Perfect. And so I'm going to try to execute this step with the data from previous execution. So for that, I'm just going to pin the data. Let me see here. I already have, okay, pin data. Let's just do the same here. And the reason why I'm doing this is just because I don't want to burn, any API credits or OpenAI credits just on testing the workflows. Okay, so here in my example, there's no interesting data to use. So, maybe I'm just going to go ahead and rerun the scenario with another niche, hoping that there's more, because here the problem is that this specific analysis didn't return any interesting results, but I need results in order to test my scenario properly. So let me go ahead and I'm going to rerun it. This time let me use another niche, or maybe let's use digital marketing. Okay, it's running, so let me wait for it to be running, and then I will be able to replace the current data I have with the new data. Perfect. So let me see if I have actual data with this execution. Okay, perfect. Now I can go back to the workflow and replace the old data with the new data. So let me copy paste the output in Lovable. Okay, so it's done now. So I'm going to go ahead and get the webhook URL. Oops. Okay. Get the webhook URL, and then I'm just going to add the HTTP request to send the results to Lovable. And now I'm going to go ahead and try this step. Okay, here we have a missing session ID. So I'm going to have it change the function to not require session ID. Okay, so let's try again. Perfect. So now we can save all of this and try the entire analysis flow. Okay, so now we got the results. The last thing I need to fix is that the results are being available in Google Sheets, and I don't want that. So what I'm going to ask is that instead, when so to remove this button, and then that when the user clicks on send the email, well, it triggers this other workflow, so that when the user enters his email, is able to receive the report by mail. So let's go ahead. So again, I've followed the same steps for the second scenario to make it available in MCP, and also to add a description so that the Lovable can know what information to send back in the workflow. Okay, so now let's go ahead and try to send the report. Okay, so let me check my email to see if I received the report. Okay, so here's the email with the report, and let's try to access it. Perfect. So now that we know that our workflow works, we can go ahead and publish our Lovable project. So I'm not going to use a custom domain for now because this is just an example for the video. So let's just call it YouTube video ideas. And then as you start to publish, Lovable will let you know if there are any errors. Before I publish the project, I am going to ask Lovable to fix this. Okay, one thing that you should know is that updating security is free. So as you can see here, we haven't used any credit. I would advise you to go through all the security concern and make sure that your app is secure. So now that we are done with the security check, we can finally publish the app. Let's go. Okay, so now we're done with the security fix. I know that you can see that there's two errors on the security scan, but if you look closely, they're outdated, so we're done. And our app is available by everyone, and it works. So there we go. We built a little micro-SaaS in less than an hour thanks to Lovable. And that's it. You just saw how to take a simple N8N workflow and turn it into an actual micro-SaaS. If you want to try the tool, I will link it in the description. Now let's talk numbers. This took me around an hour to build and I used 17.8 credits. With Lovable's free tier, you only get 5 credits per day, so for a project like this, it is better to be on the paid tier. I'm using the 25 euros per month one, and that gives me 100 credits per month, which is more than enough to build several projects. Now, another important note, this approach is best for very simple workflows, very simple tools that do one thing and do it well. If you want to build something more complex, you'll need another approach using different tools, but Lovable is not the best fit for more complex projects. So if you learned something today, hit that like button and subscribe, and let me know in the comments what simple workflow you're going to turn into a Micro-SaaS product.